Because when one has the ability to be a Yishachar on a small level, then he knows how to climb out of his own little world, then he can do it for more people as well. We're at a time of year where so many of the schusim upon which we base our tefillah and our bakashas on Mesiras Nefesh, the whole Zechreidus is based on the Mesiras Nefesh of the Akedah, on the Lech Dechachar, on Midbar of Eliezer, leading Mitzrayim. They threw away everything. They were ready to go past the confines of themselves, of their negias, and live big. Mesiras Nefesh speaks to us. Glorious Mesiras Nefesh for sure speaks to us. Somebody told me over recently that a Yid, simple Yid in Antwerp in Antwerp, came to the Rebbe, a Holocaust survivor. He came to the Rebbe. He was one of those people that dreads us by the Rebbe. He said, Rebbe, can I ask you a question? Something's bothering me about the Nusach of Avinu Malkeinu that we say. So Rebbe says, ask. He says, Rebbe, two of the Avinu Malkeinu seem to be identical. He said, Avinu Malkeinu, Asay Laman Harugim Al Shem Kachecha. Do it. We make tiftas in the schus of those who were killed, who were murdered Al Shem Kachecha for your holy name. And right after that, we say, Avinu Malkeinu Asay Laman Ruchim Al Yichudecha. Those who were slaughtered, who were geschachten Al Yichudecha on your oneness. It's the same thing. Both Avinu Malkeinu are saying, do for us in the schus of the people who were killed for your sake, Lamancha. What's the repetition? The Rebbe thinks, he says, I don't know if I don't have an answer. He says, Rebbe, can I answer? Can I share an answer? He says, sure. So this Yid, the survivor, says, Rebbe, let me tell you, when I was a young man, the Nazis came into my town. They lined up all the men next to the river. They told everybody to stand there, shoulder to shoulder, in a straight row. He says, and the Nazi soldier, the commander, picked up his machine gun and he started to shoot. Shooting down, mowing down men, one after another in a row. And the Yidden, these victims, these Kedoshim screamed out together, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. He said, Rebbe, some of these people didn't get to finish saying Shema Yisrael. They were killed by Hashem Elokeinu. Some of them, the ones on the left side, made it till the end till Hashem Echad. So we daven, Aseilam Harugim Al Shem Kachecha, while they were saying your holy name, while they were in the middle of Hashem Elokeinu, they lost their lives. And then we daven in the schus of those who were Thruchim Al Yichudecha, who made it all the way till Hashem Echad. So then that the Rebbe cried and cried. Throughout the Yom Kippur, he cried from this start. That kind of Mesiras Nefesh speaks to all of us. It resonates with us. And then there's a less glorious Mesiras Nefesh, which we also identify with. Someone told me over recently, in the Karneman, about a story that took place in a teacher's room, in a cheder in Yerushalayim. Recess time, the Rebbeim came in, one made a coffee, one got busy correcting tests. One made a phone call, he called home, he called his wife. And the other Rebbeim overheard him, he called his wife and he said, can I ask you a question? Can you look out the window and check if the garbage men came already, if they took away the garbage out of the bins like they do in Yerushalayim, they throw it into a central bin, all the bags, and then the city comes, the municipal workers, and they take away, they empty out the bin. Could you check if they emptied out the bin already? And his wife answered whatever she answered. He said, okay, to say to that, thank you very much, have a good day. And he hangs up the phone and he goes back into class to teach. Later, by lunch, one of the Rebbeim says to me, Rabbi Yankel, can I ask you a question? He says, yeah. He says, I overheard your question. It was just very strange to me. It was bizarre. I'm curious. What was that? You asked your wife to check if the garbage man came. Then you hung up and you said, okay. What were you asking her about? So he says, I'll tell you the truth. I'm making chas in a few days. You know, money is tight. So I went to Gemach last night. And I borrowed $10,000 in cash to be able to help me with the expenses. I put the $10,000 in my frock, and I came home. When I came home, my wife said to me, you know, Yaakov, you have a new frock for the chasna that's hanging in your closet. Take your old Shabbos frock and start to wear it now already. This frock is threadbare, it's worn, it's shiny, it's unbecoming. Don't walk around with it, just get rid of it already. I can't look at you for another minute in this dirty frock when you have an option. She says, I took it up, I listened to my wife, I rolled it up, I put it in the garbage, and I put on the new frock and I came to school today. I have to recess that the $10,000 was still in the old frock. So I called my wife to know if the garbage man already came, I can go home and hopefully recover the $10,000. But if they left already, then the $10,000 was lost. So this Rebbe can ask you a question. Why were you so calm? Why did you hang up the phone and say, okay, go back to class with such equanimity, so calmly? So the Rebbe says, I had a Rebbe. I learned in the Gary Yeshiva in Tel Aviv. My Rebbe was the Mashgiach. His name was Rav God Eisner. He was a big tzaddik, the guy Chassid. He was Mashgiach the guy before the war, and later in Khrushchev in Tel Aviv. It says in my Rebbe, my Mashgiach, Rav God Eisner taught me as follows. I've nicht for a zealous momentum. That does that in the need. Not for moments like this. Why are we when we find the money? When the money's still where we left it, when we tap it and it's there, we don't need all that Yud Gimel Ekron and all that Tefillah and all that Charvayim and all that Emunah, everything. We don't need that when the money's still there. It's when the money's in the garbage and they took it away. And how could such a thing happen? That's when all our Yiddishkeit. So he says, this was the moments when I felt, this is what it's worth. That Mesiras Nefesh, we all understand. Mesiras Nefesh of understanding. Not only the glorious opportunities for Mesiras Nefesh, but the mundane opportunities for Mesiras Nefesh, for living with that attitude. How much should a person tell you, Eliezer? How much should you write a check out for? I'm certainly not one who can answer that question, but I can tell you this. If, like Rabbi Yankel Bistritz, like the Rambam says, Ishach and Choshuva, if somebody has that ability to really just go in for a moment what it's like into the homes of these people who are hungry, children who are hungry, overworked wives, harried husbands, and feel what they feel. You know, Tzedakah doesn't just make you a Ishacha. Gemara says in the Dharm, Mishnah says in the Dharm, that if somebody made a neder. He was supposed to, he was supposed to marry his niece. There was some kind of understanding that he was going to marry Bas Achaisai. And she was very unattractive to him, so he made a neder that he wouldn't marry her. So Yishmael took this girl, and he invested a little bit of money. Taisu says he helped her with her teeth. The Ritva says he bought her clothing and jewelry, but he worked hard to make her look more attractive. And he brought her back to the uncle, and he said, "Is this the lady that you made a neder you wouldn't marry?" And he said, "No, she's very attractive. I would certainly marry her. She's not the person that I made the neder about." So he was involved with the neder and they got married. And Rabbi Shmuel said, Yisroel Besser, they're attractive. Yiddish Techta, they're very attractive. They're beautiful. But Aniyas, when I've lost them, the Aniyas makes them look unattractive to other people. That means the Ishacha, not only he became an Ishacha, he was able to create an Ishacha with his tzedakah. Just like a developer, a real estate developer looks at a piece of land and he can visualize the possibilities. A Baal tzedakah is able to look at our man and visualize how he can recreate him, how he can rebuild him like Rabbi Shmuel did. I think it's safe to say that Yad Eliezer is the modern day adaptation of Rabbi Shmuel's trick. The ability to take somebody and rebuild him. The ability to take somebody who maybe isn't feeling great about himself and let him buy his wife a present for Yontif. Let him feel good about coming into the basement with a new suit. Maybe it's a new bed for one of the kids. They do it all. Before you write a check tonight, take a moment. Think how badly we need this chosam. Think about the wall we're creating when we give to Aniyim Hagunim. Think what it's like to be them. The decision will come to you naturally. It's all the to help that this chos should stand by all of us, which should be zeichet to Gemara Chsim Teiva, to be nichtav for Shnat School of Yishuah. Thank you.